Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Checks and Balances TV. Today's program is entitled Revised Economic Expectations: How to Get the Most Bang for Your Buck the rest of 2011. So let's see how today's news may impact your financial future. Many economists have downgraded their forecast for the second half of 2011 based on the most recent unemployment and consumer price index numbers. Hiring has slowed to a virtual standstill, with a net of only 18,000 new jobs last month, and unemployment rising to 9.2%. The latest CPI data isn't too promising either, with an annual rate of inflation of 3.6% over the past 12 months. While politicians are busy debating whether or not to raise the debt ceiling before the August 2nd deadline, millions of Americans are left wondering how that decision will ultimately impact inflation and their personal finances for the rest of the year and beyond. Okay, so what's really going on here? Let's check the facts using our checks and balances process. Unemployment rose to 9.2% in June, according to the latest report from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Only 57,000 new jobs were created across the country, while 39,000 jobs were cut, resulting in a net increase of only 18,000. Those numbers are the worst employment numbers in more than a year. The U.S. was adding an average of 215,000 new jobs per month between the months of February and April. And it's worth noting that the economy generally needs to add 125,000 new jobs per month to keep up with the population growth, and at least twice that many to lower the unemployment rate. In addition, the rate of inflation was 3.6% for the second month in a row. Both of these numbers are having a negative impact on consumer confidence. For example, in the month of June, consumer confidence fell to its lowest level in more than 2 years, according to the Thomson Reuters University of Michigan Index, which measures how Americans view their personal finances, businesses, and buying conditions. The Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index, or MCSI, was expected to climb to 72.5 in July, after reaching 71.5 in June, but instead declined to 63.8 due to concerns about falling wages and rising unemployment. The normal value of this index, by the way, is supposed to be 100. Indexes like the MCSI give us a good indication of whether or not Americans feel like spending their hard-earned money. If consumers are positive, they generally tend to buy more goods and services and stimulate the economy. Okay, so now that we've checked the facts, let's balance this news using our checks and balances process to determine what action you should take today. American consumers are reading between the lines, and the result is lowered confidence in our economy. While the Consumer Price Index was 3.6% for the month of June, it was only the energy sector that experienced a significant decline. The inflation rate would have gone up if there wasn't a gasoline intervention by the current administration. The gasoline index, which fell sharply to 6.8%, is what held the overall inflation rate to 3.6%, while the core index for all other items, minus food and energy, rose 0.3% for the second straight month. The Obama administration announced at the end of June that it would release 30 million barrels of oil from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve in an effort to keep prices stable throughout the busy summer driving season. Energy costs overall saw their biggest decrease since December 2008 due to these falling gas prices. This temporarily and artificially put a surplus of gasoline into the marketplace and drove down the price at the pumps. However, let's not forget that gas prices are still up nearly 36% over the past year. Lower gas prices over the last couple of months are simply hiding the fact that prices for other goods, such as food and clothing, are on the rise. Food has increased by 3.7% over the last year, clothing has increased by 5.9%, and shelter by 1.2%. And just because gas prices have decreased recently doesn't mean that Americans believe the economy is improving. The consumer confidence numbers speak for themselves. And many Americans and some economists are concerned about future inflation, or what some call stagflation. Stagflation is a more severe form of inflation defined as a combination of slow or stagnant economic growth with relatively high unemployment over a long period of time. Okay, so what's the bottom line here? Many economists and consumers are on the same page when it comes to the economy. They both downgraded their current expectations based upon key economic factors such as unemployment and the rate of inflation. The economy just doesn't seem to be getting better. Revised expectations are nothing new, since change is inevitable for all of us. But dealing with a new reality can be difficult for many people, especially when times are tough financially. Getting the most bang from your buck is essential, especially during inflationary times and when the economy is not improving as quickly as we would all like. In order for you to survive, you may need to stretch your dollar as far as possible. While it's more enjoyable to spend money and buy new stuff, you might do better to hang on to that cash a little longer. With the future looking so uncertain today, do what you can to protect the money you have and hold on tight to weather this ongoing economic storm. And now for Matt's weekly financial tip, tool, or technique. There are a number of economic factors beyond your control that will likely impact you and your money. However, there are also some things you can do today to help yourself financially in the second half of 2011. Your ability to adjust to revised economic expectations will determine your rate of success when it comes to balancing your finances and living well the rest of the year. So here are 4 money-saving tips to follow for the balance of 2011. Tip number 1, use coupons. You don't have to be an extreme couponer to know that using coupons on a regular basis can save you lots of money. A recent Google search by us found that there are over, get ready for this, 58 million websites devoted to offering you discounts for things like travel, groceries, contact lenses, medication, clothing, and even school supplies. Yes, it's that time of year again. And if you like to eat out, there are over 14 million sites devoted to restaurant discounts, including many buy one dinner, get one free offers. Tip number 2, consolidate your debt. If you have any outstanding loans or too much credit card debt, shop around for other financial institutions that might be able to help you reduce your interest rates and even consolidate this debt. You may even be able to work out something with your current creditor to lower your payments. Also, paying off that debt as soon as possible will help you build up your emergency fund faster, so keep that in mind. Tip number 3, take advantage of promotions. Getting a lower car or mortgage interest rate may be easier than you think. The only way to find out is to explore your options, which may include interest-free introductory rates on new or used cars or first-time home buyers. Don't settle for the first rate you hear. Shop around, compare, and also take your time. And tip number 4 is cut down monthly expenses. If your cell phone or cable bill seems too high, contact your service provider to find out if they will lower your bill or upgrade your plan. Oftentimes, threatening to leave for a competitor is all it takes to get them to give you a better offer on the spot. And remember, they never want to lose your business. Following one or all of these tips will help you to reduce your cost of living and also fuel the economy at the same time. Be sure to log on to our website and request our newest free report in our Truth About series. It's entitled, The Truth About Investment Fees, Loads, and Charges. This special report reveals many of the fees charged with most investments and how these costs can affect your overall return. And finally, remember that only you can control your financial future. You can succeed. You just need confidence and determination. I'm Matthew J. Reddick from Checks and Balances TV. Until next week, dump debt, invest wisely, believe in yourself, and make it happen.